Hello viewers, welcome back to today's episode of how to start a cocoa farming in Nigeria. Okay, from my previous videos, I've been dropping videos regarding long-term crops that you can invest your money into, and cocoa happens to fall in between the 5 types of long-term crops that you can invest your money. So today's particular video will be based on the cocoa farming alone. And like you know, cocoa farming is one of the lucrative agricultural business, and it's one of the leading agricultural export business. Okay, after Ghana, Indonesia, and Ivory Coast, Nigeria is the 4th largest producers of this particular cocoa. So due to that, it shows you that cocoa farming is one of the lucrative business that you can invest your money into. And one of the amazing things about this cocoa farming is the type of crops that if you invest your money into, it's not something that within 1 or 2 years you are going to harvest it, or you are going to make the particular money that you invest into it. It will take about 6 or 5 to 6 years before you can even think of harvesting this particular stuff, or before the stuff can think of getting to maturity state or starting producing the particular fruit out. So it's a long time stuff. It's not something that you just do within a short period of time and you gain your profit from it. Okay, now even if you are staying in Nigeria or you are staying anywhere, you can invest your money into cocoa farming. And cocoa farming is one of the farm that can even advise you guys to do. For an elderly one, probably if you are doing this white collar job, and if you are thinking of retiring and you are looking for a way to invest your money into, or anything that you can invest your money into in agriculture, I think cocoa farming will be the best choice for you to choose. It's the type of stuff that even if you you are doing it, you can still transfer it to your offspring to come, like from one generation to another. So it's something that that someone can inherit from you. You understand? So cocoa farming is very good, and it has money in it if actually you knows what you do with it. Okay, so like I say, if you want to go into this cocoa farming in Nigeria, what do you need to put into consideration in order for you to make your money from this particular stuff? Number one, you must have your land. Before thinking of investing your money into agriculture, or before thinking of going into cocoa farming, you need to have your land. And cocoa farming is not just you cannot just buy on anyhow land and start planting your cocoa. It's not done that way. The land that is suitable, that is good for cocoa farming, is the land that is even situated at the forest, that is inside the forest, or that is close to where that has water. That was the type of land that is good for planting your cocoa. You can make use of loamy soil land, and also a clay soil land to plant your cocoa. And like I said, cocoa is being planted inside the forest. That is when they do very well. A place whereby they have access to water, or there is regular rainfall. Those are the places that is good for cocoa planting. Cocoa doesn't love excess wind, and also too much of sun. You understand? So that was the reason why forest is ideal for you to plant your cocoa, because of due to the forest canopy, like where there will be shade for your cocoa. So those are the places that cocoa do very well. And what are the maximum years that it will take your cocoa to grow to maturity state? It will take about 5 to 6 years before your cocoa can become a very matured and start producing what we call the cocoa pod. Okay, so that was the reason why I told you that it's a long time stuff, not a short time stuff, before you make your money out of it. Okay, and when are the right time for you to plant your cocoa? Cocoa is being planted during the rainy season, and like you know, we are at the rainy season already. So if you are thinking of going into this stuff, these are the right time for you to plant your cocoa. Probably after you have your land, and you might have do the proper planning of the land by tilling the land. Then the next thing is to plant your cocoa. And I will even advise you to buy a fresh cocoa pod. Those are the stuff, because cocoa seed is very sensitive, so it can die off easily if you plant it up at dry season, or like if you just plant your cocoa like that, or if you sow your cocoa. So it's important for you to plant your cocoa, not sowing the cocoa. And what do I mean by sowing? Like probably if you buy your cocoa seed, you just be spreading it on top of the surface of the land, so it's not that proper. It will dry. The seed will dry off. If eventually the sun rises on it, the seed is definitely is going to dry up. So it's best for you to plant it, and you must nurture it for about 5 to 6 or to 10 weeks before you can transplant it, for people that want to do irrigation. And you can even do irrigation cocoa farming as well. It's not necessarily mean that you can plant your cocoa during rainy season. You can actually plant your cocoa during dry season as well. Okay, now let's talk about the profitability of cocoa farming here in Nigeria. The reason why I always use Nigeria in my video is due to the fact that I'm staying in Nigeria. You can actually do cocoa farming wherever you are as well. And like I said, now the profitability of cocoa farming, currently a prices of 1 kg of cocoa is about 390 naira. 390 naira for 1 kg of cocoa pod. And inside that 1 kg, we have about 300 to 600 seed of cocoa in it, seed in it. Okay, so those are the current price of cocoa. Currently. So if you peradventure, if you invest into this particular stuff, you still have a high chances of producing this particular stuff or selling this particular cocoa out as well. Even Nigerian as a whole, we cannot even supply the demand for cocoa yet. So there are still room, or there are still chances for you to fall into this particular stuff and still supply your cocoa out as well. And like I told this guy, it's one of the leading export business here in Nigeria. Now let's talk about how many states, or on which particular state in Nigeria has the highest producers of cocoa currently. On states like the Osun State, the Ondo State, the Ekiti State, and so on and so forth. And even Edo, which is Benin. Those are the common states, or those are the the states here in Nigeria that produce the high number of cocoa. So you can think of doing that as well. You can see that we have some states, some states in Nigeria that even that they are leading in terms of providing this particular cocoa. So you still have a chances of going into this particular business and make your money out of it. And what are the harvesting period for cocoa? Like I told you guys, you can harvest the cocoa during dry season. And you can harvest your cocoa twice in 1 year. That is, if you plant it and your cocoa grown up to that particular 5 to 6 months that I told you guys, then when can you harvest your cocoa? You can harvest them during dry season as well, and you can harvest twice in 1 year. So within 1 year, we have what we call the secondary harvest, and the second one, which is called the low harvest as well. So those are the two harvesting period of this particular cocoa. The secondary harvest is the first fruit that you harvest from your cocoa, which is the cocoa pod that you harvest. I think is the largest on harvest, while the lower one is just like on the remaining one, which hasn't ripened at that particular stage that you harvest the first one. So those are the second one that you can still harvest. And like I told you guys, the best month for you to plant your cocoa is starting from May, June and July. You can harvest your cocoa. And like I told you guys, you can harvest the cocoa during dry season. So that particular May to July, they were the secondary the secondary harvest, while starting from October to March, they are the lower harvesting of this particular stuff. And do you know that on one tree of cocoa can produce about 30 to 40 pod of cocoa pod, and cocoa can last it for about 30 to 50 years. It can last for about 30 to 50 years before it will think of dying off or any other stuff. Although it depends on how you manage your farm or how you take care of your cocoa farm. Okay, so but cocoa can last for about 30 to 50 years, like I told you guys. Now let's talk about how profitability cocoa farming is, or where can you sell your cocoa to. Peradventure, if you put your money into this particular business and are looking for where to sell the cocoa to, we have some common places or some companies here in Nigeria that you can sell your cocoa to. And most of these cocoa farmers, if you notice, most of them are wallowing in poverty. Why is that happening? A lot of them are selling their cocoa towards the middlemen at the market, especially people that have this particular cocoa in a smaller scale. So if you have your cocoa in a smaller scale and you are just selling it to the middlemen at the market, then you are not actually going to make your profit from it. So it's best for you to go into it in a larger scale. I'm not saying selling to the middlemen at the market it's not proper, but it will be best, or if you are looking for how you can make money from it in a larger scale, then definitely you should be selling to some companies that deals with cocoa, that are cocoa dealers here in Nigeria. And talking about the company that I'm going to mention for you guys that can sell cocoa to, we have the Globex Limited, which is what located at what Lagos State. Those are what company that deals with cocoa. We have the BOS on Natural Resources Limited, which is located at what Benin, and we also have what Cocoa Association of Nigeria, which is what located at what on Akure. Those are the common company, although we have several companies, but those are the ones that I know for now. You can as well make your research if you have this cocoa stuff and you are looking for a very reliable company to sell your cocoa to. They deals with cocoa and they are cocoa dealers, so you can supply your cocoa to them as well. Okay, so in conclusion, cocoa farming is very profitable and is something that you can invest your money if you are looking for a lifetime investment or lifetime investment that has to do with agriculture. Those are the one that you can invest your money into is cocoa. You can think of doing cocoa farming and you are going to make your money out of it. Okay, so please, if today is the first time I'm coming across my YouTube channel, do it to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell to be notified when next I drop a particular videos like this for you guys, and keep on sharing my videos, and bye for now.